Well, good morning. Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It is a brand new day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and we will be glad in it. I wanted to share with you today a verse from the Bible. It comes out of Psalm 46:10. Should be very familiar to almost all of us. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." You know, at a time such as this, sometimes it's hard to be still and know that He is God. Sometimes we tend to get nervous and anxious, and our thoughts tend to squirm. And we have a tough time just folding our hands and trusting that God is in control. You know, we're not alone in that. If you remember Elijah went and hid in a cave, and God came and found him. And God was not found in the fire or the wind that broke the rocks, or He wasn't found in all of the noise. He was found in the still, small voice. And that's where we still find God today. And I want you to be encouraged as you find God in that still, small voice. But in order to be able to find Him in that still, small voice, we have to be still. And we have to know that He is God. You see, sometimes we want God to speak in a still, small voice, but we want to be loud and clamorous and never sit down, never fold our hand, never really trust. We just want to be very active. And then we wonder why God doesn't speak. Not hard to figure out. There's a lot of good news right now. If you look around, I was surprised and actually had to smile a little bit when I went to try to find good news, and I had to actually dig to find the good news. When I put in my internet searches, what I got was headlines of all the bad news, but I knew there was good news. And I had heard good news, therefore I wanted to find good news, and I went looking for it. One of the things that I want to share with you is that on April the 25th, which was Saturday, Spain actually allowed their children to go out into the streets and play for the first time in 6 weeks. They allowed their children, the young children, to go out and play, and I watched a video of these children as they joyously ran up and down the streets, and as they played on playground equipment, and as they roller skated, and as they skateboarded. And there was one little girl that told her father as they walked through the streets, she said, "Daddy, look around. It's a city of children." What a beautiful way to say it. What a beautiful way to say it. To dismiss that good news that Spain has allowed their children back out into the streets. To ignore the good news that New Zealand has now said that they have so few cases coming up, so few new cases coming up, that in their mind, they're at a place where they can begin to shut down some of the care facilities. And that's good news. And the United States is heading in that direction too, I can assure you. I was talking with a lady at church, a young lady, and she's a teacher, and she had just found out that she wouldn't be going back and finishing the school year with her children, and she was very distraught about that. She cares deeply for her children, but at the end of our conversation, she just had this beautiful smile that just bloomed. And she looked at me and she said, "But we'll come through this. It may take us a little while, but we will come through." And that smile gave me a reassurance that I don't think I even really thought I needed, but I did, and I so appreciate that. I want to invite you to look around for the good news. Search for the good news. Dig for the good news. Go for the inspiration. It's easy to fall into the negativity. It's easy to fall into the pit. It's easy to fall in and end up rolling around and just really messing yourself up. I would invite you instead to look for the positive, because there are positives all around us. There's a website called thegoodnewsnetwork.org, I believe. And they actually had an article where they said that they were getting so much good news that they couldn't keep up with it all. They couldn't get it entered quickly enough to get it online because there were so many good deeds, so many acts of kindness, so many things that people were doing, so much good news out there that they were having a hard time keeping up. That in itself is good news. So I want to encourage you today. I want you to keep your chin up. I want you to continue to pray for our nation because we need prayer. I need you to continue to pray for our leaders because we need strong leaders. And I will continue to pray for you, my church. I love you. And I'm glad we were able to talk this morning. And I hope you found encouragement in this. And if you did, share it so that others might find hope here too. When a little child can walk the streets of Spain and say, "Look, Daddy, a city full of children." We should all find hope in what God is doing and how He is getting ready to turn this into a healing situation.